I finally decided to download Busuu and test it out for 30 days. And I was using it to learn French, but of course I had my language settings set to Spanish. The first thing that really caught my eye when I opened up the Busuu application was the advertisement, because one of the first advertisements that I saw was Aprende un idioma en 3 minutos al día. So learn a language in 3 minutes a day. So that right there really drew me in because I only have so much time for language learning. And the next thing that I saw was Practica con hablantes nativos. So practice with native speakers. So right there, I wasn't really sure if that was kind of similar to the features in Hello Talk, but that still was very appealing to me. And then the next thing that I saw was adquiere confianza con correcciones de nuestra comunidad. So acquire confidence with corrections of or from our community. So I don't even know what that meant, but I was also very excited to test it out. Also, I've heard many good things about Busuu before I actually downloaded and tested out the application, so I was already pretty excited to start using it. But I have to say, whoever is doing the marketing for all these language learning applications, y'all are doing a really good job, because your advertising is making me pay for your subscriptions. But in this case, for the first 7 days, I had the free version, or not the free version, I had the premium version of Busuu for free. And then the last 23 days, I actually bought the premium version of Busuu, and then I canceled it again. So before I started to complete some lessons, I was asked a few questions during the setup process. So for example, I chose that I wanted to learn French to travel, and then I also was tested so they could see where my French level was. So that was that was pretty helpful, because I was kind of concerned because I was already using Duolingo since like the beginning of 2022. So I didn't know if they're gonna have me, learn from the complete beginning of their course. But they placed me in the A2 level, and honestly, I was pretty proud. I'm like, yeah, I'm finally A2 in French. That's kind of cool. I just looked at my notes here, and it seems like I made a mistake. So it looks like that I actually was put in the A1 portion of the course. And right now, since I'm recording with my phone, I can't really check. But we'll just say that they put me in A1. So when I first started to complete some of the lessons, I actually thought it was a little bit too easy. And then it started to kick my butt, and I got a little bit too confident. The lessons are a lot more detailed and structured than I imagined they would be. And that is actually a really good thing, because I was learning a lot of grammar, because the grammar explanation is quite in-depth. But it wasn't so in-depth to the point that I felt like I was really bored just completing these lessons, because like there was too much grammar and I couldn't understand anything and I couldn't memorize anything. So that is also really good. I would say I was never really bored throughout the 30 days of using Busuu. So yeah, they get an A+ for that. I thought the questions within the lessons were pretty good as well. So there were some matching type questions, there were some fill in the blank type questions, and I also noticed that I really did need to pay attention to all the grammar explanations if I wanted to answer correctly. So it wasn't as if I could just answer just some random thing and I would get it correct. So I definitely needed to make sure that I was paying attention when I was completing the lesson, or when I was going through the lesson, and not just try to speed through it and try to complete it as fast as I could. So definitely learned that as a lesson. I think the audio voiceovers of the different words and phrases being said within the lessons were okay. Some of them sounded a little bit more robotic, but they did have some short clips where there were some native French speakers saying, different sentences and different words. So that wasn't too bad. It could be a lot better in my opinion. But one thing I did really enjoy was the short stories. Those were pretty good as well. And I did like the results of the lessons as well that they would show you. So it's pretty straightforward. So it shows you how many stars that you got, then as well the punctuación, and I think that just means how correct you were. And honestly, I kind of forgot the difference between punctuación y estrellas. So I have to figure what that is. But one thing that I found really fascinating was a little timeline, or a little, tracker that they gave. So it shows ahora, so like right now, and then siguiente nivel, so the next level. So it says continue like that, and you will get to the next level in 89 days. So I will, oh, here it is. I will get to A2 in French. So elemental or elemental, A2 francés. So I'm not sure how accurate that is, but maybe, yeah, I'm not sure if it's by days, how many days, or is it just by how many lessons? Not sure how that's tracked, but either way, I thought that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I am not that much closer to reaching A2 in French yet within Busuu because I haven't been very consistent, but oh well, hopefully I'll get more consistent pretty soon here. I really like the community feature of Busuu. So if I'm thinking about this correctly, if you can answer a question within the lesson, right? But then you could ask for help from another language learner within the application. So then you'll get some responses from other language learners based off your answer. And then you can also respond back to them based off what they said to you. And you can have a little conversation. So I think that was very, very helpful. And I like these types of interactions where us language learners can help each other out. And then you can also ask, more specific questions as well, if you do have them, if you are, for example, more confused or just confused in general about the lesson and the grammar explanation. So it's always nice to get feedback or your question answered from a native speaker of the language that you were learning. Now, if you didn't know yet, I love to provide as many resources as possible to all of you Spanish learners, apart from just my YouTube videos. So for example, I have 2 free PDFs called the Spanish Conversation Blueprint and the Spanish Vocabulary Blueprint. I also created my $10 Spanish Resource Kit and my $14.99 Spanish Vocabulary Accelerator Notion template, and all those are linked down below if you are interested in checking those out. I completely forgot to rate Busuu, but overall I would give Busuu a 4 out of 5. But again, this is only my first 30 days of using Busuu, so take that with a grain of salt. But please let me know in the comment section below, what do you like about Busuu and what don't you like about Busuu? As well, if you like this video, make sure that you share it with your language learning friends and watch this next video. Nos vemos.